It is time for my Christian review of regular books and no spoiler review of Do Not Disturb by Frieda McFadden. If you've never been to one of these videos before, you can check out the video that's at the top of this playlist, which is all about my Christian reviews of regular books. But a very brief synopsis is that we're going to go over my regular review first, what I personally thought of the book, star rating, etc. And then we're going to get into my Christian review, and that's where we're going to go over the basic pieces of a book that may or may not have a fellow believer wanting to read it. One last thing, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell so you can stay up to date in everything that's going on in our Christian reviews of regular books and the podcast, because we have so many things coming out to you guys and I don't want you to miss. Now let's go ahead and get into my regular review. Do Not Disturb is a super quick, easy to read thriller from Frieda McFadden. It was actually my very first experience into Frieda, but I didn't even connect the dots when I read the Housemaid series that these were the same author. I picked up Do Not Disturb because it was on Prime Reading and I just needed something to read on my phone when I didn't have a book with me. This was before my Kindle days, before even my Kindle Unlimited days. This was in the day, where I just had my phone if I wanted to read something and I didn't want to be without a book. So I picked it up and I just read it over the course of 3 months, I think, even though it's a very short and easy read. Now, I will say that I had a fun time. Some of the times I had a hard time putting it down, but some of the other times I think I probably thinking about it, the fact that I could put down a Frieda book at all means it probably wasn't as fast paced as I know Frieda to be, which is I will sit and binge the whole book in one day because I'm invested. I want to know what happens. They move very quickly. They're very fun. So I did have such a fun time reading it and I ultimately rated it 4 stars. Now let's go ahead and get into my Christian review. The first category I always love to touch on because it's very popular is smut or spice, but no, there is no kind of spicy scenes throughout this book, so that is a win. The second category is violence or gore, and of course it being a thriller, that's something to kind of look out for, but not really. There is one scene and it's very much at the beginning and then there's pretty much no more scenes. So I feel like it's pretty easy to avoid or skip past if it makes you squeamish or uncomfortable. The last category though is actually kind of surprising to share with you guys, but there is a character who was part of a carnival who was a fortune teller. And so a fair bit of the book deals with fortune telling and tarot cards, even if the character isn't at the carnival at the time that it happens. It's very focused around it, and there was many times that I had to skip past it or kind of move past it because that's not something that I generally read. And I was surprised of how much of a web it kind of weaved through the storyline. I also felt like it was a bit unavoidable because I was able to pick up some of the pieces at the end when they re-described it in other ways, but it was a little bit hard to skip past. So something to keep in mind. I think this book is appropriate for ages 16 and up. I don't think there's anything super graphic or inappropriate in it, and I'm sure that a 16-year-old would have a fun time reading it. As always, you can find everything that I'm reading and rating in real time by following me on Goodreads. I'm also on Instagram, TikTok, and I do actually have my own YouTube channel where I go over more of the day-to-day of my reading journey. You can find all of those links down below. We also would love for you to continue in this conversation, so make sure to leave a comment down below and let me know if you've read this book or if you would read this book based on the information I provided for you, or send us an email at hello@trokia.org. I can't wait to see you on the next one.